all started 1 year ago. I had just moved to a new country. I wanted to learn English and build a new life. Everything felt big and strange. The streets were busy, the people talked fast, and I felt very small. One day, I went to a coffee shop. I sat alone, looking at my phone. I wanted to order something, but I didn't know the right words. Then a man walked in. He had a big smile and friendly eyes. He looked at me and said, "Do you need help?" I nodded and smiled back. "Yes, please," I said. He helped me order my coffee and even paid for it. "My name is David," he said. "What's your name?" "My name is Anna," I replied. David was very kind. He asked where I was from and why I was in the city. I told him I wanted to study English and find a job. He said, "I can help you. I know this city very well." At first, I was shy. I didn't know if I could trust him, but he seemed so nice. He gave me his phone number and said, "Call me if you need anything." After that day, David and I started talking more. He called me every morning to ask, "How are you, Anna? Do you need anything today?" I felt happy. In this big city, I didn't feel alone anymore. David made me feel safe. One weekend, he said, "Let's go for a walk. I'll show you the best places in the city." I agreed. We walked through the park, visited small shops, and ate at a street food stand. He spoke slowly so I could practice my English. "You're doing great," he said. "Your English is improving fast." David also helped me with important things. He showed me where to buy groceries, helped me open a bank account, and even found a place where I could take English classes. "You can always count on me," he said. "I'll take care of you." I started to trust him completely. He seemed so kind and helpful. But sometimes I noticed small things that didn't feel right. For example, one day, he borrowed money from a waiter, saying he forgot his wallet. Another time, he told me, I used to have a big job, but I quit because I didn't like my boss. He laughed, but something in his voice sounded strange. Still, I ignored these feelings. I thought, David is my friend. He is just having a bad day. He was always there for me, and I didn't want to doubt him. One evening, David called me. His voice sounded different. He sounded worried. "Anna," he said, "I need your help." I was surprised. "What's wrong, David?" I asked. He sighed. "I have a problem with my rent. I don't have enough money this month. My boss didn't pay me on time. Could you lend me some money? Just for a few weeks." I didn't know what to say. I had some savings, but I needed that money for my English classes and daily expenses. "How much do you need?" I asked quietly. "Just $200, he said quickly. "I promise I'll pay you back soon. You trust me, right?" I hesitated. My heart told me to help him. After all, he had helped me so many times, but my mind felt unsure. Was this the right thing to do? I finally said, "Okay, David, I will help you." "Thank you so much, Anna," he said, sounding relieved. "You're such a good friend." The next day, I gave him the money. He smiled and hugged me, saying, "I'll pay you back next week, I swear." But something changed after that. David stopped calling me every morning. When I tried to ask him about the money, he would laugh and say, "Don't worry, I'll give it back soon." He avoided my questions and started making excuses. He also seemed more distant. When we met, he was always checking his phone or looking away. I asked him, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" "No, everything's fine," he said with a smile. But his smile didn't feel real. I started to feel uneasy. I wondered if I had made a mistake. But I kept telling myself, David is my friend. He just needs time. One afternoon, I was walking to my English class when I saw someone familiar. It was a waiter from the cafe where David and I often went. He smiled and said, "Hey, Anna, how's your friend?" "My friend?" I asked, confused. "Yes, David, he comes here all the time," the waiter said, laughing. He's always joking about how many people trust him. His words felt strange. What do you mean? I asked, trying to stay calm. The waiter hesitated. Well, I probably shouldn't say this, but David is known for borrowing money from people and not paying it back. He even asked me once. Be careful. My stomach dropped. I felt my heart pounding. Are you sure? I whispered. The waiter nodded. Yes, I've seen it happen many times. He's a smooth talker. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mind raced. Was it true? Was David lying to me this whole time? That evening, I decided to confront David. I called him and said, David, can we talk? I need to see you. Of course, he said, sounding casual. We met at the park where we had walked so many times before. I looked at him and asked, David, were you honest with me about the money? He froze for a moment, then laughed nervously. What do you mean, Anna? Of course, I was honest. I told him what the waiter said. His face changed. He looked angry, not at me, but at being caught. Why are you listening to other people? He said sharply. You should trust me. Tears filled my eyes. I trusted you, David. I believed you. But now I'm not sure. Did you lie to me? He didn't answer. Instead, he shrugged and said, Everyone has problems, Anna. You wouldn't understand. His words broke my heart. I realized he didn't care about me. He had used my trust to take advantage of me. I walked away, feeling empty and betrayed. My chest felt tight and tears ran down my face. How could I have been so blind? I thought. The truth was clear now, but it was hard to accept. I had been fooled by someone I called a friend. The days after I discovered the truth were the hardest of my life. I couldn't stop thinking about David and everything he had said to me. His smile, his words, his promises, they were all lies. I felt small, stupid, and so angry at myself. I stopped going to the places we used to visit. Walking past the cafe or the park brought back too many memories. Every time I thought about how much I trusted him, tears came to my eyes. Why didn't I see the signs? I kept asking myself. I also worried about the money I had given him. It wasn't a lot for some people, but for me, it was everything. I had worked hard to save it, and now it was gone. I had to make choices, cancel my English class for a month, and eat cheaper meals. It was painful to feel the consequences of my mistake every single day. One evening, I shared my story with my teacher after class. She listened quietly and then said, Anna, you're not the first person to trust the wrong person. It happens to all of us at some point. Her words gave me a little comfort. But I feel so foolish, I said. How can I trust anyone again? She smiled gently. You made a mistake, but it doesn't mean you're foolish. It means you're human. And humans learn. Her words stayed with me. Slowly, I started to see things differently. Yes, David had betrayed me, but he couldn't take away everything. I still had my dream of learning English. I still had my strength to keep going. I began focusing on myself. I made new friends in my English class and started practicing with them. We laughed when I made mistakes, and they encouraged me to keep trying. I also started writing down my goals again, one by one. Don't let this stop you, I told myself. You are stronger than this. Each day felt a little easier. I started walking past the cafe again without feeling sad. I even stopped by the park one afternoon to sit and read. The pain was still there, but it was quieter. It didn't control me anymore. Looking back now, I realized that trusting David was a mistake, but it wasn't the end of my story. Yes, it hurt, and yes, I lost money and a little bit of my confidence. But I also gained something important, a lesson I will never forget. I learned that it's okay to trust people, but I also need to protect myself. Trust is something that should be earned, not given away too quickly. I won't ignore warning signs again. I won't let my feelings blind me. But this experience didn't make me lose hope in people. Not everyone is like David. Since then, I've met so many kind and honest people who have helped me in small and big ways. My teacher, my classmates, even strangers who smiled at me when I felt down, they reminded me that the world still has good in it. Now I'm stronger. I'm more careful, but I'm not afraid. I know I can handle challenges and grow from them. Life isn't always easy, but every mistake teaches us something valuable. If you're listening to my story, I want you to remember this. Mistakes don't define you. They shape you, teach you, and make you wiser. Trust yourself to move forward, even when it's hard. You are stronger than you think, and as for David, I don't think about him much anymore. He's just a chapter in my life, a chapter that taught me to be smarter, braver, and more prepared for the future. My journey isn't over, and I'm ready for whatever comes next.
Thank you for watching. Enjoyed the story? Subscribe to learn English through stories. Like, turn on notifications and comment your city and country. See you next time.